Once upon a time, in a distant land, there lived a young and determined boy named Akiro. He possessed a natural talent for archery, but there was one thing that held him back from reaching his true potential: fear. Akiro was plagued by a deep-rooted fear of failure, which often clouded his focus and hindered his progress. Determined to overcome his fear, Akiro set out on a quest to seek the guidance of a wise sage, known for his ability to help others conquer their deepest fears. After a long and challenging journey, Akiro finally arrived at the sage's humble dwelling nestled amidst the tranquil mountains. The sage, a gentle and wise old man, welcomed Akiro with open arms. Sensing the young boy's inner turmoil, he agreed to help him overcome his fear. He explained that the path to conquering fear required a series of lessons, each designed to challenge and transform Akiro's perception. The first lesson began at dawn the next day. The sage led Akiro to a vast field, where targets were set up at varying distances. He handed Akiro a bow and instructed him to shoot at the targets, but with a twist. He had to wear a blindfold. With a mixture of excitement and trepidation, Akiro tied the blindfold tightly around his eyes and took his position. He drew the bowstring, relying solely on his instincts and muscle memory. Fear gripped his heart as he imagined missing the targets or worse, causing harm to himself or others. As Akiro released the arrows, he felt a surge of adrenaline coursing through his veins. He heard the arrows whizzing through the air, but he had no way of knowing where they would land. Doubt and uncertainty filled his mind, but he continued to shoot, trusting in his training and the guidance of the sage. After what felt like an eternity, Akiro removed the blindfold. To his surprise, he saw that most of his arrows had hit the targets, albeit not perfectly. The sage smiled and said, "You have completed the first lesson. Fear can cloud our judgment and make us doubt our abilities. By shooting blindfolded, you learn to trust in your skills and let go of the fear of failure." Encouraged by his progress, Akiro eagerly embraced the sage's next lesson. This time, he was taken to a steep mountain cliff overlooking a vast abyss. The sage handed him a rope and instructed him to descend into the abyss, trusting in his own strength and the rope to keep him safe. With a mixture of excitement and fear, Akiro tied the rope around his waist and began his descent. The wind howled, and the sheer drop below sent shivers down his spine. Doubt and anxiety threatened to overwhelm him, but he summoned his courage and continued downward, one step at a time. As Akiro descended deeper into the abyss, he felt his fear gradually transforming into a sense of exhilaration. He marveled at the breathtaking beauty of the hidden world beneath the surface. With each step, he realized that his fear was not a barrier, but a gateway to new experiences and discoveries. Finally, Akiro reached the bottom of the abyss, his heart filled with a newfound sense of accomplishment. The sage greeted him with a smile and said, "You have completed the second lesson. Fear can confine us to our comfort zones, preventing us from exploring the wonders that lie beyond. By descending into the abyss, you embraced the unknown and discovered the limitless possibilities that await." Encouraged by his progress, Akiro eagerly awaited the sage's next lesson. This time, the sage led him to a dense and mysterious forest. The trees towered above, casting long shadows that seemed to whisper secrets. The sage handed Akiro a small lantern and instructed him to navigate through the forest at night, relying solely on the lantern's dim light. With a mix of anticipation and unease, Akiro lit the lantern and stepped into the forest. The darkness enveloped him, and the rustling of leaves and nocturnal creatures filled the air. Fear crept into his mind as he imagined unseen dangers lurking in the shadows. As Akiro ventured deeper into the forest, his heart pounded with each step. The flickering light of the lantern illuminated only a small portion of his surroundings, leaving much to the imagination. But with each passing moment, he realized that his fear was not a reflection of reality, but a creation of his own mind. Suddenly, a piercing howl echoed through the forest, sending shivers down Akiro's spine. Fear threatened to paralyze him, but he remembered the sage's teachings. He took a deep breath, mustered his courage, and continued forward, his lantern guiding the way. Hours turned into what felt like an eternity as Akiro navigated the labyrinthine paths of the forest. He encountered obstacles, stumbled over roots, and brushed against branches. But with each challenge, he discovered a newfound resilience and determination within himself. Finally, as the first rays of dawn broke through the trees, Akiro emerged from the forest, his lantern extinguished. The sage awaited him with a knowing smile. "You have completed the third lesson," he said. "Fear can distort our perception and make us see shadows where there is light. By navigating through the darkness, you have learned to trust in your inner strength and embrace the unknown." With his fear gradually fading, Akiro returned to his village, a transformed archer. He faced challenges with newfound courage, embracing failure as an opportunity for growth. His fear no longer held him back, but instead became a catalyst for his success. The sage's lessons had taught Akiro that fear was not an enemy to be defeated but a teacher to be understood. By confronting his fears head-on, he had unlocked his true potential and embarked on a journey of self-discovery and empowerment. And so, Akiro's story became a legend, inspiring countless others to confront their fears, trust in their abilities, and embrace the limitless possibilities that lay beyond. The moral of the story is that fear can hinder our progress and limit our potential. By confronting our fears head-on, trusting in our abilities, and embracing the unknown, we can overcome our limitations and embark on a journey of self-discovery and empowerment.